Hello, my friends. How are you? I hope you're doing very, very well. My name is Mariah. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, welcome. If you have, super extra warm welcome back to you. And today, do you like my new light? I hope you like it. Today, I want to talk about the Easter eggs that the goddess, in her grand mind that is planet Earth, is leaving for us. Because in the news, I'm sure you've seen it. There is a big mystery egg UFO type craft that I'll put an image of over here if you haven't seen it. And it's just sparked some thought in me. It sparked some, let's say like an inner knowing that this is the goddess talking to us, and it's not the nefarious alien overlords that they want you to think it is. Now, why do I say that? I say that because eggs have long been a symbol of not only fertility and nourishment, but of the goddess herself. Now, I don't know what your first thought is with eggs, but mine is Easter. And, Easter eggs, like I said, Easter eggs are also a colloquial term that we use now for like a hidden meaning. You might watch a movie or a video game and you find like the Easter eggs, as in you find these little hidden clues that the game developer has left for you to find, and you are meant to find them, and you don't have to find them, but if you do find them, you receive more information or like a little special wink or nod that you found this within the game. And my argument right now is that Gaia Sophia, our planet, and her dreaming mind is doing that right now for us with the eggs and the UAPs, as they're called. Sorry, let me rearrange. And it's like, if you'll allow me to make a prediction, I think that maybe we might even see something interesting happen around Easter. Whether it is a message truly from the goddess or from the people that are also tracking her and her movements and hijacking those messages, I don't know, but I think something interesting will happen around Easter, just because of all the egg stuff that we're seeing. And one of the main stories that I think is probably one of the most prominent stories about the goddess and eggs is the story from Mary Magdalene. I am going to read just a little summary of the story of Mary Magdalene. Now, if you haven't seen any iconography of her holding an egg, she is often depicted showing a red egg. And the reason is, I'm just reading from like Brave's little AI blurb. Mary Magdalene is associated with a legend involving an egg that symbolizes the resurrection of Jesus Christ, so death and rebirth. According to this tradition, after the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus, Mary Magdalene traveled to Rome to share the gospel with Emperor Tiberius. During her meeting with the emperor, she presented him with an egg and declared, "Christ is risen." The emperor responded skeptically, saying it was as impossible for someone to rise from the dead as it was for the egg in her hand to turn red. As she spoke, the egg in Mary Magdalene's hand turned red, serving as a miraculous sign of the truth of her message. This is particularly significant in the Eastern Orthodox Christianity, where the tradition of dyeing Easter eggs red is linked to Mary Magdalene's encounter with Tiberius, like blood red. And also in Eastern Orthodox traditions, egg decoration is not only red, but they also use, I'll try to find the images, I don't remember exactly what they're called, but they use these like goddess images, or that now it looks more like a design, but it originally started as a goddess image, to decorate the eggs as a veneration of the goddess. And it also is ancient Druid tradition to decorate eggs and venerate eggs as a symbol of the goddess. We also see this in Easter, as in Ishtar, as the original Easter would have it. The Easter traditions obviously is not just from Christ rising, although I think that's a convenient story. It's from even further back. It is from Ishtar's symbolism and her depictions as a fertility goddess and being associated with animals, especially rabbits. And I think they said she was born from an egg. But regardless, eggs are a symbol of Ishtar, and Ishtar turned into Easter, but it really has always been a tradition and a time of year to honor death and rebirth, which now most people honor that with the death and rebirth of Jesus Christ. But originally, I believe it was meant to be honored as the death and rebirth of the goddess and veneration of her, as well as the death and rebirth that we must take as humans in order to be in alignment with her. We often have to kill our ego selves, and literally what that means is just like putting aside our egoic rational mind, let's call it, putting aside our left brain and allowing our right brain to go beyond the rational and go into that like dream astral state where you find the goddess is waiting for you there too. You know, she is everywhere, and this is depicted more so for men in the Freemasonic traditions, where they kind of replicate the myth of Isis and Osiris, where the initiate at the time will have to go through some sort of like death play theatrics, and the mission is to see that Isis is there waiting for you beyond death and helps you put yourself back together, and then you are reborn through her. So that is a death and rebirth. Again, the myth of Osiris is just that Osiris was dismembered and left for dead, and the myth goes that Isis went around and found all his body parts and put him back together, and he was reborn through her as Horus, as the sacred illuminated child. But that really is each individual person. It's not just a myth that's reserved for Jesus Christ alone, although I believe that the story has been popularized to make you think that it's just for Jesus Christ and not for you to do. Because death and rebirth is a huge part of the goddess's lore. When she fell from the pleroma, you know, and this is the same thing that is Ishtar's mythology. It is, you know, Lucifer's too. Lucifer is the goddess. It is this fall from heaven, or the pleroma, or the galactic core, where the Aeon Sophia fell, the goddess fell, and eventually turned her body into planet Earth, but she had to go through so much to be able to get to that point and to do that. And she, you know, went through her own rebirth in becoming our planet Earth, becoming our setting where we are now. And because of that, and because her mind is so much bigger than ours, she leaves us Easter eggs. And those Easter eggs, those nuggets of information, is what we're seeing play out right now in the media and on the main stage right now. We are seeing the goddess leave us little messages saying that she is there, she is real, and she is dropping her symbolism right in front of our faces. We cannot miss it. And regarding the latest egg UFO craft that they found, I did watch the interview of the guy I don't remember his name. I will do my best to find it. If I don't post it below and you want to see it, comment and I will take a harder look for it. But it was floating around Twitter, and it was this guy that kind of got interviewed by like some sort of mainstream news station, and this is the story that was going around. Was that he was manning the helicopter to go pick up the craft, and he was describing his feelings during that journey, or I don't know what you want to call it, while he was driving or operating the helicopter, or plane, or whatever it was that they used to pick up these crafts. And what really struck me was how emotional he was. He was so emotional about it, and he said that something came over him to let him know that everything was okay, and he felt a female figure with him that felt like he just said he felt like this overwhelming emotion of peace and that everything was going to be fine. And when I heard that, and he said it was female, and when I heard that, I was like, whoa, this is actually the goddess. This is the goddess giving us information and little clues that obviously she could never abandon us. She is our planet, but that she's with us on the main stage as well, and she's going to be more and more apparent, like so much so that you just can't deny her. And this egg story is an example of that. I saw some other posts going around that there's some sort of astrological shift and that the goddess is coming back with that as well. And I'm like, good. Like for me, she's already back. And I know for a lot of people, she is back, but I know that that's not the case for everybody. And these little Easter eggs that she leaves for us are her wink, nudge, nudge to those of us that see her, that she is going to make it more and more obvious. And, you know, and I think the egg thing is a great example of that. And just the fact that the operator, the helicopter operator, who's military, by the way, was picking up the craft and said he felt this overwhelming female, I don't know if he called it a divinity, but like a feminine force that was, I think he even started to cry during the interview. Like he was so emotionally compelled by this that I'm just like, oh yeah, like she is reaching more and more and more people. And you know, it's not that she's reaching us that is the beautiful part. It's that people are seeing her. It's that people are tuning in. It's that people who, and I'm not necessarily talking to people that are like devout Christians or Abrahamics or whatever, because they probably can't be swayed, but it's people that are in the middle and people that are already leaning towards the goddess because they know that it's the original religion anyways, because it is the truth. And they, now she's leaving messages for people that it's like, yeah, like she's still here. And it's not these grand, confusing narratives that are meant to leave you feeling like, you know, you just have no control over everything, because that's what the media wants you to think. It's that she is there and she is undeniable, and the goddess is truth. And having a relationship with her one-on-one reveals that to you, which is why I talk about her all the time, which is why I highly encourage each person who interacts with my content to have their own relationship with the goddess, to take Sophia, Gaia Sophia, Sophia, Kuan Yin, Green Tara, Ishtar, Danu, Hathor, you know, whatever you want to call her, as your own personal confidant, as your own personal guide, as your own buddy, as your own friend. Your relationship with the goddess should be like a best friend relationship where you just talk to her about what you're feeling and you connect in with her, and she provides you meaningful resolutions and she provides you with solutions. And I know at one point I was like really in a tough spot, And she gave me a mantra that now I don't remember it because I don't need to remember it, but she gave me a mantra that rhymed and got me through a certain phase of life that I needed to get through, just by repeating that. And it really did work out, in a way that I couldn't even plan for, in a way that was better than expected. And that's really her signature. That is her MO, is that she leaves so much beauty in every interaction that she has with you, that it's like you obviously couldn't have planned it any better than that. And it's because we don't have the brain, we don't have the capacity that she does, and we're not supposed to. And everything with the goddess always turns out better than expected. So I will be watching for more goddess messages, and especially as she leaves us more and more Easter eggs coming up to the actual celebration of Easter, which corresponds with the more or less the start of the new astrological year, depending on when it is in April, when Easter hits in April. I don't really remember. But it'll be interesting to see that shift as we move into the astrological new year, and see her shifts and see her cycles, because she is certainly leaving messages for us. She is leaving us Easter eggs. So my challenge to you is to see what else she leaves for you. See what these little eggs and nuggets of information mean to you. She is the cosmic egg. She is the epicenter of life that we live within. And she provides so much more. And also, before I forget, I wanted to also mention that your energetic field kind of looks like an egg. So there's a connection there. It's those sorts of synchronicities that Sophia leaves for us, where if we're seeing this white egg be in the news, and maybe it's a sign that right now our best way forward in tandem with her is to strengthen our own egg, our own energetic field, our own aura with the beautiful white light of the goddess, and visualize that egg around us. It seems like it's not going to do anything, but trust me, it does. It's a very protective measure. And maybe her message is that we have to protect our energy fields right now. She tells us things like that when you work with her. So yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you find similar synchronicities. I would love to chat. See you later. Bye.